What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Another new feature headed into 22, Tour Player Tuesdays, guys. Alright, so again, we're leveling up on all fronts. What we want to do with this feature is not only analyze the swings of the best players in the world, but actually help you understand how you need to move your body and how you need to swing the club to combine and learn from the best. Okay, so it's not just a straight up analysis. We're going to look at what you need physically to execute on these movements and to improve your own game. Okay, so put this up on Instagram straight out. The main guy that came up was Rory Mcilroy. Obviously, one of the best swings out there, without question. Naturally, just so gifted, but also works super hard as well. Alright, so in terms of his training, that's one of the questions we got asked quite a lot. He does some pretty cool training, not a million miles away from the whole GOLFWOD design, and he does periodize his training to get the most out of his performance. Okay, in terms of learning things over the years without any direct access, essentially you're going to see compound lifts, you're going to see full-on intensity, but you're going to see always tapered to the time of the year. Okay, so much like we are with our programming, you're going to see a little bit heavier lift outside of the real tournament series, but you're going to be lifting all the way through the year. Okay, so there's a little post put up just around Christmas time. We had a barbell, we're doing some back squats, we had some chains up on there. That's how it kind of work, guys. All right, so once you kind of match that with the natural ability to rotate and move the way that he does, you got some pretty cool things going on. Okay, but looking at the swing, how we're going to dial it up and how we're going to take things from it. Okay, so obviously not the biggest guy, but super powerful, amazing rotation, and one thing that everybody always notices, always in control. Right? You can be at 185 ball speed, and there's no element of loss of balance whatsoever. Okay, so that's where we're going to focus our attention. We're going to focus on the footwork, the lower body stability, and how that rotation matched with the stability is going to power his swing and create the best rotation you can possibly see. Okay, from there we got a couple of drills based on that and some combinations in the gym that you're going to want to do if you want to get your body in the position to get as close to Rory as possible. Okay, so let's get into this swing. Right, guys, down the line. Okay, so again, super powerful, incredible rotation. We also have just an awful lot of really good foundational elements. All right, the fundamentals are solid. Okay, but as we said, our focus today is going to be on the lower body. So as you can see here, there's a little shift just before we start, which is putting a little bit more tension into the trail leg and the trail glute. Okay, it's something we talk about a lot, getting that function, getting that stability. It also allows you to then get super wide. Okay, so we'll see that more on the face on video. But as we wind this swing up here, notice how once the hands get up to just above parallel in terms of the arm to the ground, the left knee, the lead knee, is working down and towards the trail foot. Okay, and you can see here from that belt buckle, that means the left hip is going down, the right hip is going up. Is that articulation that we like to see, because then we can then return that in the opposite way. Okay, that pivot motion, that rotation down into the ground. Okay, so we've got it stopped here at the top of the swing. The right foot is working against the ground, so the pressure shifts from even in the feet through the balls of the right foot into the right heel more so as we load that glute. Okay, and that's how you prime the posterior chain, create that rotation, and also that's how you get the arms in a really good position at the top, because when that right leg is solid, the arms can then work up and around the spine. We got stability, and the club has to work back towards yourself. Okay, so then as we transition down, we've got all that potential energy, we've got that torque, and then we squat. Okay, see how the body moves down, you get flex in both knees, and we push off that trail side. Again, we'll see this on different angles. As we flex down, obviously the weight of the body, the force created against the ground, can then be taken back upwards. Okay, that's your vertical force. Add that to your rotation, that's how you get that massive speed. Okay, so as we wind it through, left hip rotates out like crazy. At this point, the left leg is extending. We're still just pushing off the instep of the trail foot. The weight transfers in the same way back into the balls of the left foot and then into the heel. As it extends, the foot's probably going to take off from the ground as well. So you see here, you get that little pop. Excellent positioning, wind through to the finish. And now that that lead leg is super solid, the hip turns around, we get into a nice balanced finish, guys. All right, so down the line, we really are looking at a super powerful swing. We load, squat, then rotate with power. Okay guys, let's check it out face on. Okay guys, slightly angled face on, and this actually gives us a better look of that lead leg. Okay, we talked about the stability of the trail leg. Now we're going to look at how that lead leg moves and works into the ground. All right, so again, awesome swing. We look at the power going back, we load up, and it's that explosion. Full balance the whole time. All right, so again, that has to come from the ground because that's where our movement is based. So as you can see here, plenty of strength in that lower body. You can see the musculature. Both feet to begin with. Again, we're pressuring the ground even at setup. Okay, so on that pressure, and then it shifts. As that left leg unloads the weight, as you can see here, by that left knee, the left hip trailing down, we unload the left foot, and we put lots of pressure into the trail foot. Okay, so obviously for Mcilory, right-handed, we use the pressure of the body, the rotation, to push down into that right foot and create that equal and opposite reaction. All right, so obviously we load it going back, and you push off it coming through. Okay, guys, so from here, we continue up to the top. Amazing position at the top. We've got a really wide, high backswing. How high you can get is going to be relative to your mobility. We can always work on that, guys. All right, so with that left knee down, you can see the right foot is loaded. There's a slight flex of the right knee. The trail glute is loaded, and this is where it all happens, guys. All right, so this is all potential energy until this point. You see at this point, we squat down. You see how that left hip moves down towards the target. We put pressure back through the lead side, that left foot, and that is how you then extend up. Okay, so match that with your rotation, that press back down into the lead foot, the lateral motion created from the right foot. We fire the hips, massive peak force at impact, the left leg straight, the right leg is unloaded back into that left side, and then we just let it fly from there, guys. All right, so you clear the hips out with that vertical extension. Awesome positioning. Okay, this is how you create speed, this is how you create stability, and this is why it's one of the best swings you're ever going to see. Okay guys, cool video here at the end. Okay, so this time we're actually looking from behind. Okay, so this gives us a great look at the hip tilt, the pivot of the body, and how that spine angle is maintained by lower body stability. So if you look at the power going through, a little slow-mo here, massive wind up, it's that push, squat, rotation, you got everything going on at once, guys, right? And that's why Mcilory and other players can create so much force, what looks like effortlessly. Okay, it's all about that kinematic sequence, which is where we start from the ground, transfer up through the torso, into the arms and into the club. Okay, you get that creation, that summation of force. When you use the whole body, it's a system. Okay, this is how the golf swing works. Okay, and you can see here, again, great positioning throughout. We've got those great fundamentals. As we wind this up, the lead side lowering with that knee, that's a big key, okay guys, because that holds in our spine angle way better, and it allows us to extend through that trail side, get that glute functioning, and then drive down and through into impact. Okay, so you look at the top, again, amazing mobility. These are all things that you can add to your swing without this mobility, but the closer we can get, the better our swing is going to be, guys. All right, so up to the top, massive upper body rotation through the thoracic spine. We've unloaded the left side, as you can see, the heel's lifted just slightly. The right side is extended against the ground, massive pressure, and then down into the ball. We get that push off the right side, we get the squat through the whole body, and as you then pull down, the club's in a great position. Obviously we know the fundamentals are solid, still flexed, and then just before impact, we start to see that transfer of energy from going down into the ground to up and out of the ground, okay? You match that with massive hip rotation and overall range of motion, you got yourself this swing right here, guys. All right, so you can see again up to the top, totally unloaded into that lead side. So it's that transition. We unload the left side, power through the right side, squat, then it's lateral, vertical, and rotational. Okay, these are all things that we can be working on, guys. All right, so again, amazing movement, amazing quality. This is something that we want to learn from, and that's what we're going to do right now, guys. All right, we're going to get as close as we can to delivering some of these lower body elements. Okay, we're not looking at the full swing. We want to give you that lower body stability, speed, and sequencing to start building the foundation of the best swing possible. Okay, we're going to take a look at the swing first, then we're going to hit the gym with a couple of movements, and we're going to build ourselves into the best player we can be. Okay, guys, so now we've looked through McIlroy's swing. We want to help you interpret that and put it into your own game. Okay, so number one is going to be the awareness of that lower body action. Okay, and number two is going to be the drill that's going to help you nail it. Okay, so number one, we want you to get used to that lead leg working down, the hips rotating and the upper body rotating roughly twice as far. Okay, so again, to keep numbers simple, when we rotate back, we need to let the hips go half as far as the shoulders. So if we get our shoulders to 90 degrees, we want our hips at 45. Okay, so all we need to do, simply, you can put a alignment stick through your belt loops, or you can use a club just with your hands here. As you unload that lead side, so you let your left knee for a right-handed player work down, your left hip's going to go down, that's naturally going to rotate your hips. Okay, from there, continue your rotation whilst creating torque under your right foot. Okay, so I want you here, just for the lower body to isolate, you want to get this to around 45 degrees. Okay, so here, we're at 0. There we would be at 90, but obviously that's not going to allow you a very good swing. So I want you to create torque and pressure. Okay, so holding this at 0 degrees, we then unload that left side, we load the right side, and feel that tension here. So that's going to be roughly 45 degrees. My right foot is working against the ground, my trail hip is loaded, ready to go, and we've unloaded this left side. Okay, then from here, you can actively rotate to the target and give yourself exactly that feeling. Okay, so from here, remember, we add flex to the right both legs. So as we go down, we squat, we push, and then you need to get this parallel to the target line, right? So from here, that loaded position, we're then going to squat, turn, extend, and finish. Okay, so we're using this as a guide for how far we're going to turn. Okay, so you can do it a little faster. Again, 45 with that nice load, squat, fire. Okay, and this is just giving you a guide the whole time through. One more. So we get set, unload the lead side, trail side is loaded, we've got lots of pressure, squat, push, and rotate. Okay guys, so that's kind of an awareness drill. Okay, it's going to give you really good proprioceptive feedback through the feet. It's also going to show you how far the hips can turn, which muscles are firing at the right times, and then how that transfers to your swing. Okay, so the key from there is taking that awareness into a drill so we can deliver it into your swing. Okay, and this is absolutely my favorite over time. This is a backswing loading drill, and this is going to get it done. Okay, so what you're going to do very simply to start out is align the ball to your trail foot. Okay, so obviously this is a way back ball position. We're not going to hit from here. This is just to increase our load and give us the awareness of how far we can turn. Okay, so address the ball in line with your trail foot. You are then going to wind up to the top of the swing, maintaining exactly those ground mechanics that we just worked on. Okay, unload the lead side, put pressure into the trail foot, starting with the balls of the feet into the heel, and load that trail glute. Okay, from there you're going to point your left knee and your left shoulder at the ball. That's going to give you that fully wound up position. Okay guys, so from there, you're under tension, you got the stability, that is how we then change direction. Okay, and you can make this an even more dynamic drill by hitting with this position. Okay, so you're going to put a club or an alignment aid inside your trail foot, align your ball to your normal position, and then you have the visual and that awareness of how far to turn your shoulders, and then unwind into the ball. Okay, so again, using the ground, working through the lower body, creating that rotation that we need. This drill will help you get a fully loaded backswing to then deliver on the way down into the ground, like we said, rotational, vertical, and lateral forces, so you can pound it like Rory. All right guys, we're working on the swing. We need to be working on the body as well. All right, we're looking lower body stability, those patterns, and that force creation. All right, so number one, we need to be able to work in asymmetry and stabilize the whole body from our lower half. Okay guys, so we're going to start out with a really cool set. We're going to go front rack lunges into lateral bounds, guys. All right, so you can use dumbbells, kettlebells, whatever you need to. We're going to front rack. So the weight is on your torso, okay? This increases your spinal positioning and core engagement as well as loading the body. From there, you're going to execute those lunges, down and through, pushing against the ground, creating that asymmetry, and hitting every single rep. Okay, guys? So, you're going to get massive function, you've got the asymmetry, and you're organizing the whole body. You're going to compound that, and you're going to superset it with lateral bounds. Okay, so again, this is your lateral footwork, that pressure, that change of direction that we saw in Rory's swing. And it's super important, guys, all right? So we're gonna set, use your body weight against your lower half. So we're pressing the ground, we stabilize and set. That's gonna allow you to understand the pressures through your feet, that stability required, and the amount of torque you can create through excellent footwork, guys. All right, again, direct transfer to your swing. We load, we push, we accept, and we continue on with that stability. All right, guys, so once we've got the stability, that lower body strength, we need to be able to sequence and create speed and power, okay? Bands are gonna be an incredible way to do this, okay? Number one, again, you got a superset here. We've got the sets and reps down below for you to take them to the gym and try this out, okay? So what we're gonna look at, banded tension in a lateral position. We start with our feet together. You're gonna step out into your golf posture, rotating that hip as you do so, plant your lead foot, and then it's that sequence, okay? This is what's important. You plant, rotate, and fire, okay? Just the same as you do in the swing, just the same as Rory Mcilroy does. We push off that trail side, plant, rotate, fire, guys, all right? Be very aggressive, turn, and go. Try and bring in as many of those factors as we talked about, okay? So don't just kind of turn and go. Feel as though we start on that loaded right side. As we work across, we flex both knees, we plant. As we rotate, extend and fire, okay? That will give you the exact sequence you need to generate those kind of forces and develop your body, okay? Always work both sides, although obviously we take that into the right-handed swing, guys, all right? You're gonna superset that with vertical extension, all right? Cross-body vertical extension. So take a band under your alternate foot to alternate hand, guys, all right? From here, we're gonna load down again, just like we do in the swing, although always work both sides. We're gonna load down, we're then gonna extend through that lead leg, pull the hip back for that massive snap speed, and work the vertical force, all right? So we load down, snap, and go, okay? That is massive speed, guys, all right? So down, and go. And the idea of pulling that foot back, it's almost more towards the long drive side, but you saw in Mcilroy's transition, we go from the trail foot, we go into the balls of the lead foot. As we push through the heel and extend the glute, the hip's gonna pull backwards and rotate out. So load and pull, okay? So that's where you manage to increase your sequencing. We increase lateral, rotational, and vertical forces all at once. And that is how Mcilroy powers his swing, guys, all right? So this was our first Tour Player Tuesday, guys, all right? We put a lot into it. We really can't wait to see how you all enjoyed it, how you're implementing this into your game, and let us know who you want to see next time around, guys, all right? Every Tuesday, we're going to dial this up. We want to help you get your body in the position to make the swing that you want so you can play your best golf, you can hit it further, shoot lower scores, and then you're back in the gym, you make more progress. That's the lifestyle we're creating, guys, all right? So appreciate the time. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, check out everything that we do here, Instagram, and most importantly, the GOLFWOD app, guys, all right? That's where it's at. That's what we're here to do. You can learn from Mcilroy, and these are the tools to do so, guys, all right? So get out there and golf strong.